everybody. We are here with Mathilde Dehaye, and she is the star of a new film that just hit theaters on June 3rd. It's called The Overnight. Matilda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm great and caffeinated too. So
Yeah, I'm with you.
that dress is killing me. I love it.
Yeah, it's cute, right?
Fabulous.
I'm out of
So
a little. I'm a little present.
I love it. I love it. So can you tell us about this film, The Overnight?
Sure. I always say when I'm asked a question, I see it in so many different ways. What exactly would you like to know?
Why don't you give us kind of the elevator pitch? Tell us about the
Oh
story.
my God, I'm terrible with that. Yeah, you have to ask a director for that. But basically, I'd say that it's a couple that's want to have a little cute getaway weekend, and something happens, and that kind of sidetrack them, and they end up at a hotel, wrong
Mm.
place, wrong time, because a lot of things are then going to happen to them, and they're going to have to deal with that and see if they ever make it out of that hotel.
Sounds like the makings of a great horror film. Um, can you tell us about your character then and who you play?
Sure. Sure. I play Emma, and Emma is the twin of Eugene. And Emma is about to go to prom when an argument explodes because Emma wants to wear a certain outfit, like a lot of ladies her age, which her parents don't like. So an argument explodes, and my brother, who likes to dabble in some, let's say, black magic things, plays with that. And unfortunately, not knowing what he's doing, a demon finds an open door to make its way to me, which will then be hard to close and get the demon out of myself, which he will be trying to do all throughout the movie. Successfully or unsuccessfully, you'll have to watch to know. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean, if he had
that's
just been okay with the clothes, right? Um,
right. That's right. And, between you and I, what's wrong with it?
not exactly sure, you know. Oh my God. Okay, so let's see. This film was co-directed by Bobby Francovillo and Kevin Rhodes. To me, it's always fascinating when a project is directed by two or sometimes even more people.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so how was it working with co-directors and
Well, they
did
fought all the time.
they did?
No,
No.
ask them. I can't. No, 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 no. They were great. No, no. Honestly, actually, we worked. I worked with one, then the other, more so,
Uh-huh.
and was just explaining to this my other interview. They were very free, very open. Um, they were learning. I feel themselves. About a lot of things, and so it was very giving, give and take, and I had all this room to explore my character and whatever I wanted, really. Because I feel maybe the more experienced you are, the more picky you might be. But here it wasn't the case, but not just because of that, because they were genuinely believing in me, I guess,
Mm.
and that was really cool. And if I want to be a bit harsh on myself today, I think, wow, I had such an opportunity to do much, 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 much more. And what was I doing? I could have stretched it even further. But that's 5 years ago, and it was for me also challenging because I hadn't done anything. It was my first lead, even though she's not in. I shot more in the end for Servant, for example, than I did for this project. But still, the role was important to the story, and yeah, it was one of my first baby steps, and hopefully I didn't do too bad. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you ended up with Servant and Castle Rock, so I don't know that you
I
did,
knew nothing
but
about the overnight though. It wasn't out yet, so it's not to credit myself on this one.
well, you know what? You make a point. You say that somebody with more, I guess, expertise would have been more picky. Um, I don't know. I think that somebody with more expertise would be able to just tell people the parameters and just let them go. Yeah.
If he's smart or she or
Yeah.
they. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why, I shouldn't say that, because it always depends. You can have people, and what experience do I have? Not that much yet. So from my little experience, it's true that it really depends on the individual and what their ego is like and who they are, really. Because that's why here it's not just because for them they hadn't done tons of movies before that they didn't know how to direct me. It was a conscious choice too, to not be an arrogant person, because someone who's when I first made my little short film, I didn't direct it, but it was the first time I was going to do something, and I would have been much more everything has to go a certain way,
Mhm.
and I didn't have the experience. So you see, you can be an asshole like me, whether you have experience or not. Who am I
So
to judge?
so this was okay. This was obviously horror.
Yeah.
And why is this film an effective horror film? Like why is this one so scary? What fears does it play on?
Well, it's funny because I don't find it extremely scary, and I think it's good that it's not, I mean, it's different in its own regards. I don't think it was trying, I mean, we should ask them because I don't know, but for me, let's say, and it's maybe also perhaps because I've acted in it, so I know, certain things, but being able to still remove myself, I feel it's just because they're not meant to scare you like certain other movies are meant to scare you, with just the way people just look. Here we have scary factors, but it's not as scary as, The Grudge, for example, to me is really scary, or Saw, you
Mhm.
know. I think that here it was more, there's a lot of comedy, and a lot of it is a bit, overdone, but
Mhm.
I feel that, and especially seeing it in the movie theater for me was more effective, if you will, and, really getting it. And it's not to tell people to go to the movie theaters, but for me, it was like that. And I think that what it's effective in doing, though, is because it's also light, it's to question, is this really, things that one could partake in? My answer is yes, and you shouldn't. But you know,
Are you
um,
sure? No, I'm
oh
kidding.
yes, I know. Just like and so I'd say that that's very serious, and it's the same with social media. There's nothing, in this specific. It's mentioned, and it's there that careful with what you play with, basically. But it's not a very, like that own super powerful message of people are going to see this and then be like, ooh, I'm not. But hopefully, to some extent, maybe this plus that makes people question, what where they put their energy and what they interact with.
Right. So it's not so much a scary film as it is a haunting film.
Yeah, I would say so. And also
Yeah.
funny. I find it very funny. We laughed a lot when we were there in the movie theater, just because of the oddity of certain things. And again, I think it depends on the viewer, how you're
Mhm.
going to look at it, and what you take out of it is I'm the one to tell what this is supposed to do. Whatever it does to you, take it or leave it.
Are there any scenes in particular that you really love uh, from the film? And careful with spoilers, I suppose. But
Yes, yes. Well, I everything Salim, and it's not to Salim does. It's not to put him on a big pedestal, but I just his oddity, his character work is so perfect. And same for David. And I don't want to give anything away, but maybe a specific. Every single character I think has a moment that sticks, at least a moment that sticks with me. I loved the laughter of the, not just the laughter, just the the way he portrayed himself, the stalker. I loved his part in it. And what else? Yeah, no, that's. Is there something that playing maybe myself? What I like about
well, I mean, anything really. If there's a
yeah,
particular scene that you're just like, oh, we get that good, like we nailed it on
yeah,
that one.
yeah. I think honestly, for me, every time that I went was when Salim was in the scene. It's just, he just brings that to me. He just makes it, it's again part of that comedy. And same with David.
Yeah.
He does that very much so. So there's not one specific. I see him at the top of the stairs,
Mm,
with What Have I Done,
mm.
you know. Um, yeah, and same for David, and the way they were really leading, making the things, was so vital. I think that without them, doing that, I don't know if the rest of us could have made.
So you've been really busy in the horror genre.
It's not, but I've been all right.
So what is it about horror that you keep saying yes to? What is it that you like about the genre?
It kind of just happened like that, in the sense that I first booked this one, and
Mm,
then I auditioned for Castle Rock, and I got Castle Rock, and then it was the same for Servant. And I don't know how much. I mean, The Overnight, nobody knew, about that. I also done some before it came out now, so it's not like one thing really led to the other. I
okay.
guess it's something that I can embody, certain energies that I can perhaps work with, and so I guess that I have, maybe I'm creepy. I don't know. And I show up in a pink dress and I book a murderer. I don't know. But it must be something I emanate, and because I don't just audition for horror, and I'm definitely not seeking to just do horror. Far from it. I'm very much pulled towards a lot of other genres. So
Well, which genres?
I would love to do, for example, right now, I would love to do a period. It's so specific, it's ridiculous. But I've been craving to do a period film in France. I
Mm.
would also love to be part of the Joker that's going to be shot, but that's something else, But no, that's the same vibe. But yeah, I would love to do something that is more. I was talking about that with my manager, in terms of brightness and what we bring, because right now I do feel that it's something that, in a serious manner, we really need, and not that this is not needed in its own regards, but I think part of me is kind of craving to make people better themselves in a certain hopeful manner, and perhaps brighter than this, but I'm still very pulled towards telling the scary stories, because why not?
Well, you're 100% right that we definitely need a bit more positivity.
Yeah,
But I will say that for me personally, horror is a way of catharsis.
yeah, for sure,
So
absolutely.
so to me, that's, another way
Yeah,
to get to the same place.
absolutely, absolutely. We were just talking about that, about how people do what they want. Once they see something, it can either inspire them to do something worse, or it can let their imagination go places that, without the medium, perhaps they would take it to reality, and not just
Mm.
leave it in that room, at the movie theaters, or at home, or wherever you watch it, on the train now, on the street.
On
It's
a
like,
plane, on your
on a plane,
phone.
but hopefully, because we make what we want, okay. But I definitely feel it's a big place for exploration, for people, and we need it. We're like that. We're crazy.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
So what else do you have coming up?
Well, right now I'm actually working on Servant still, so
Oh,
that's
awesome.
too much. But yeah, that's what's been going on. I'm auditioning, waiting for the right part, you know, and writing. I love to write, so that's also something I'm doing.
Fabulous. Well, listen, if anybody is out there watching, hire Matilda for a period piece in France. He wants to be in a period piece.
That's
And if
nice.
it's a period piece horror film comedy, then great. Everyone's happy.
Look, that's kind of what Amity is kind. She's got the dress from 1619, so that's kind of period, and she's horror. She was a perfect match already back then.
See, the work is done. Just shoot it.
Yeah,
Well, Matilda, listen, congratulations on the overnight, and very, it was an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Hope to hear from you again soon. And everybody, the overnight is out in theaters now, and Matilda recommends you see it in the theater. And thank you again so much for your time. And again, hope to see you again soon.
thank you. Keep watching horror movies, and then You make us work.
All right. All right.
Take,
Au revoir.
take care. Bye. Au revoir.